pioneer of the Gulf Coast wine scene, and award-winning food entrepreneur.
I know a lot of you wonder what to do with your moon pies. Well, I've got some wine suggestions for you. Limited moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio.
Stuart Reb Donald, acclaimed food and travel writer and world-class chef.
I was the chef de casserole. I made the casseroles in the frozen food department.
For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to answer your questions and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want or ought to know. 4-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nappy Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining. People screaming for Frank and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Yes, welcome to the Sip and Chew Show.
Pass that bottle to me.
Pass that bottle. We are the dynamic duo of dining and drinking, and you ought to know us by now.
Yeah.
After 12 years, going into our 13th, you ought to know us.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome to the show.
You ought to vote for us too.
Yeah, and you ought to. Today is the
day.
last. Yeah, you're right, Stu. Stu brings a great point. Today is the last day you can vote for us.
For someone else to make sure that we are 14-time Nappy Award losers.
Yeah, that's
But anybody can win. Not anybody can lose 14 times.
yes.
We are the Buffalo Bills.
Well, certainly the Buffalo Bills, Susan Lucci's, whatever you want to call us.
Yeah.
But
Browns. I love that Buffalo Bills
Just-
team, by the way. That was my favorite professional football.
mine was the Baltimore Colts, the real Baltimore Colts
The only
What?
Baltimore program.
with Johnny Unitas and
For those listening, Johnny Unitas was a football player in America in the 1912s when Mike was a senior in high school.
let me tell you what.
Johnny U was
I remember
amazing.
watching NFL games, and you could see the guys on the sideline smoking cigarettes on the side. They could
Was that Bart Starr?
No, it's a bunch of them. A
Yeah.
lot of them did it. But anywho, where are we going?
Yeah, the Sip and Chew with Mike.
Losers, yeah, losers, yeah. We're talking about losers, yeah. Anyway, us, we're. But today is the final day to vote for your favorite of everything and anything that is anything in Mobile and surrounding area in the Nappy Awards. And if you don't vote for us, be sure to vote for our team, FM Talk 106.5, Sean Sullivan, Dalton and them, and Bill Finch. We're all
Wait, Bill's in the same categories as
in one of them. On that one.
we kind of this station kind of owns that category, man. There's really not enough lifestyle from show on radio.
I know. But nowhere else are you going to listen to a show like this one and know about what junk food to pair your wine with.
Exactly.
And
what you need to do some research on. No one's ever done this one
what's
before.
that?
Jolly Ranchers. And you go through the Jolly Rancher flavors.
I'm gonna be at the gas station later today and get me some Jolly Ranchers.
As long as you don't grab any Haribo right now.
Yeah. I'm just because we're on the Jolly Rancher, which is a fine hard candy.
Yes.
You're into hard candies. I decided yesterday, it's official. Y'all all just, bow down to it. The greatest candy on earth is a Granny Smith apple kept in the refrigerator. If you ever eat a cold because most people don't eat a Granny Smith straight. They're used for baking because they're so tart. It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. But it's an apple. It's good for you.
Is it the honey sweet apple? There's one honey
That
sweet
one's
apple.
good. Yeah, too sweet.
they say in the
taste like a Jolly
refrigerator.
Rancher. Yeah.
I know someone who eats the heck out of them.
Yeah, those are
And
delicious.
she keeps them in the refrigerator.
Yeah. I like that ice cold.
Yeah.
And I discovered that working at a steakhouse over across the bay years ago. We had a particularly busy night. We handled it well. The sous chef came out and said, "Good job, everybody." And tossed everybody a Granny Smith apple. And I went, "Okay, that's cool." And we all took a bite and went, "Oh my gosh, that's a Jolly Rancher."
Mhm.
And he goes, yeah, I don't know why people just bake with them. That's the most delicious apple.
With wine, in a lot of instances of descriptions, there are terms of like Granny Smith apple
Yeah.
in wine.
That's a
Yeah.
great apple. And I found a Granny Smith apple juice one time at Big Lots, which tells you I'll never see it again.
Right.
Just phenomenal. It was so good.
Mhm.
It really was. And I'm not a big cider person, but we tried some ciders when we were out at the Taste Awards. Remember that they had a cider and they had the cuvee, which you told me just basically means a blend.
Mhm.
That was delicious. It was very crisp, like a dry white wine. Very good.
And I got a local product
Okay, go
off the
for it.
road off I-65 in Perdido, Alabama.
Mhm.
The plain old muscadine juice, cold.
Yes,
It's very refreshing.
absolutely. And
It will quench your thirst.
and so much resveratrol, which is the healthy
Oh, my
antioxidant that's in red wine that makes it so healthy.
And it's great.
There's
combat.
how much more is there in scuppernine and muscadine? Is it twice as much?
Well, a lot more than pomegranate and any of those other
Yeah.
fruits. Yeah.
Yeah, extremely healthy. And yeah, the white scuppernong, is that what the one is?
Yeah, the
Juice?
white one juice is.
Oh my
really-
gosh, Steve, it is just phenomenal.
It's non-alcoholic. It's just.
Yeah, it's just juice.
I have never
And it's
had
cold.
muscadine. I'd love to have
And
some.
it's
this
really
week.
good.
That is the indigenous grapes to the southeast United
Mhm.
States.
Mhm.
The natives were eating them before we got here.
Mhm.
The grapes from Europe don't grow as well in this climate.
The humidity is too humid here, and the bunches of grapes
Mhm.
like grow elsewhere.
Yeah.
Causes the mold and rot from the inside, and they just don't produce
Ah,
like
Yeah.
they do up there.
And that's why
Cooler and drier.
Yeah, there's an Appalachian style of winemaking, and it involves scuppernongs, muscadines, and also like cherries, berries, apples. If you go up into Tennessee and visit any of the wineries there, you'll see a good display of it. The one that I liked the most was in Monteagle, Tennessee,
Mhm.
and they had 18 different wines
ooh.
at the Monteagle
Mhm.
Winery. And these two old boys rolled up in there and they decided they were going to try a sample of every one and then walk back to the hotel. But it was
At least they
great.
didn't drive back. Yeah.
Down here, it's not the heat, it's the humidity, because out in California and elsewhere, it gets to 130. It can
It's
get to
dry.
113
Yeah.
Yeah.
during the day, but it's dry.
Right.
And even though you got fog rolling in, it's still.
That raises a good question. Are there, and I don't know this, you have the Napa Valley wines because of the desert, but do you have Nevada and Utah wines as well?
New Mexico makes a phenomenal champagne.
Really?
Yeah, they found it was a family from Champagne, France, found a spot in New Mexico where the climate, the soil, and everything was almost identical to the Champagne region.
Well, it's almost like Mendoza. It's dry, and it's cool and it gets cold.
Is that what
Cool
they
and dry.
refer to as arid?
You're right. Right. But no, every state in the United States is an AVA approved, has an AVA approved winery, even Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Alaska and Hawaii. Alaska's a no-brainer, but Hawaii, you would think.
Why is Alaska?
Well, they make
Ice wine.
wine out of no. Did you say Alaska or Hawaii?
Yeah, Alaska. Why? I wouldn't have thought anything in
Oh, it's
Alaska.
just the
Why?
berries, just the
Yeah.
berries.
Oh,
You can
really?
make wine out of anything.
You need fruit, sugar, and yeast and time. pretty
In
much.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
that's
yeah, you should
pretty
have told
much
my
why.
dad that. He used to
Yeah.
have something in his
You-
basement. and
you
I
take
don't
the
know what
fruit
that
out,
was.
you add grain. Yeah, take the fruit out, you add grain, you get beer
Right.
or spirits.
Right,
Pure grain alcohol.
right. Hops.
There is a,
Fermentation.
I think it's
fascinates.
University of Tennessee. One of the two, going back to muscadine, scuppernus, they have this study they did on muscadine and effects on prostate cancer. And it's they use it the
It's a
dry.
positive help.
Someplace they
Yeah.
buy the powder.
Yeah, they concentrate the resveratrol, which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
resveratrol. Most antioxidants
Mhm.
fight cancer. Resveratrol is one of the best at it. So if they're concentrating, I can see where they were. Another great antioxidant for cancer is, I don't know the full name. It's like EGGB is what they do it to, but you find it in green tea.
right, right.
And it is very aggressive. It seeks out cancerous cells, destroys them, and replaces them with healthy cells. I have a best friend who all through school, all summer, barefoot, no shoes, he was sunburnt, he had skin cancer problems. Switched from coffee to green tea. Now he didn't have to get skin cancer anymore.
Wow. 251-343-0106 is the call and text in line. We're going to talk about a great, interesting subject that's on everybody's mind on Sunday mornings. And
Especially the Irish.
I didn't hear from Danny, so I guess.
George's Water Sports knows you
Call
love
the Gulf
Yamaha
Coast.
motors. That's why they offer Bentley and Loretta pontoon boats and
Oh.
water center consoles pre-packaged with
Yeah, I
reliable and
didn't put,
efficient
you know, I
Yamaha
just
motors.
only
George's Water
certain
Sports is
regions
your authorized
in
Yamaha service
wine
facility
or-
using
you know,
certified
I get
Yamaha
conversations
filters,
from
lubes,
our
and parts.
yeah,
Call
you
today,
know, he's-
344-6666
ferment just about
to
everything.
schedule a tune-up
Oh,
repair. 48 years of making
he had
boat
this old
days the
house.
best
He
days.
used to
George's
shop.
Water Sports,
It was
sales,
on the
parts,
post
and
office.
service.
Whether you want to trim,
Except
chalk,
where,
grind, clean, polish, or sand, any variety of materials. Buy
Basically,
your fasteners off the best
all
in
the
class
big
bonded, coated,
it's
non-woven,
more
and super abrasive
filters.
products for industrial, construction,
he's-
automotive, and
he's-
do-it-yourself application. Visit
And
Buy
of
You
course, all the
Fasteners
food.
in Saraland.
Hello, I'm Scott Armstrong with Kimco Metal Buildings. If you want a sustainable and cost-effective solution for your
winery down there.
building needs, we've got
and
you
he was-
covered.
I mean,
Kimco
teaching-
has been designing and
rhubarb
constructing
wine,
commercial
buddy.
quality steel
You want
buildings
something
since
that'll keep you what?
1965. Meet or
Woo!
exceed how and low structural requirements
I
and
mean,
help
I
with the
wanna try
building
it.
process from planning to
Looks
completion.
and feels
We're
like
located in
celery, tastes like
Daphne.
strawberry.
Check out our website at
But it's just
kimcobillings.com
hard
or call
to
us at
you know, as soon as you bite it, just- you just go to the back of your
It's
bowl.
Try and find-
KEMKO. Tom
You usually
Claxton
find
and
it
Cal
down here,
Walters.
strawberry,
A couple
rhubarb,
of
jam,
Wolverines
or
giving a
raspberry.
little weekday R&R
Yeah,
refuge
my
to
grandmother
stimulate
took
your
back the brothers,
senses.
they all live
People
together.
are aroused.
So
I
all
haven't seen people so aroused
And
in a
they made their
very,
own
very long
buttermilk
time.
and all
The
butter.
Scuttlebutt Network radio program
Well, they
every
didn't
Wednesday
use
night
it by
8
virtue
to
of
9
making
p.m.
buttermilk.
on
Yeah,
FM Talk
butter, they
106.5.
But when
Your
they didn't
voice
use
of the
weren't using
veterans
churn,
for the veterans.
make them watch.
Tune in, sound
Yeah,
off,
put a
and
pulse over it.
sound off like you got a
You do
pair.
that stuff and I go,
If you're talking about it,
They're not doing anything.
it should be law. We are talking about it.
Taco Bell for 11 tacos.
Dropped. So it wages.
Let's talk Southern style
Yeah.
on FM Talk 106.5.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer. And anyone with lungs can
What
get lung
is it that
cancer.
helps,
It causes more cancer deaths than breast,
Well,
colon, and prostate
rise,
combined.
like
It can feel like a risk against
baking powder?
time.
Oh, baking powder, and if you use buttermilk, you need to put baking soda to combat all of the.
And while there may be moments where you question your
You
next
use milk,
step,
you don't need baking soda. If you use buttermilk, you do.
it's essential to know that you don't have to confront
Something
lung
like
cancer
that.
alone.
The baking soda was
Through it all,
overlapping.
Go-To for Lung Cancer is here for you. From screening,
It doesn't-
treatment, and survivorship
I
support,
do like
to finding the right care close to home, we are your community.
And
As your friends, your guides, your
Get all the
teachers, your advocates, your support system, Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit goto.org today.
Here we go.
For more than a decade, they are the dynamic duo of dining. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
So Stu threw out this challenge.
Oh, and a challenge.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Hey, man, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that, but I'm just
Only it was in a text
just
message.
trying to
I
make-
mumbled in a text message.
mumbled it.
Is this gonna be a thing for like 20 pieces each or what?
But we could, well,
Actually, what you could have done is said, "Wow!" During the commercial, Steve brought up a wonderful topic.
are you saying, okay, while in the commercial,
Yeah, yeah,
we decided to hash some things out today,
yeah,
so to speak.
yeah. We're going to talk about hash, and we're not talking about
Hashish.
hashish, which is where the word assassin comes from,
Oh,
because they were frequent users of hashish.
really?
Yeah.
They probably listen to George Harrison music a lot, don't they?
I don't blame them, man. You know, my ex hated the Beatles, could not stand anything they put out. But then one day she came home, she goes, "Who sings that that song, My Sweet Lord?" And I said,
George Harrison.
I said, "That's the Beatles." She goes, "That's not the Beatles. It's George Harrison of the Beatles." And then she would hear these other old songs. She'd come in, she goes, "What is this song?" And I would go, "That's the Beatles," while my guitar slid.
Yeah.
Gently Weep. She goes, I hate the Beatles, but I love that song. She loved George Harrison. That was what we determined. Didn't care for Paul stuff, didn't care for John stuff. Loved George Harrison stuff, which is just another testament to how incredible that band was.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
So
all four individual talents.
Yeah. But they were
They
frequenters of hashish. We're not talking about hashish. We're talking about hash.
Hash.
Yeah, not so
Slinging it.
Yeah.
Hash. And what color do you like your hash? Brown.
Yeah.
What golden brown?
Well, there are two types of hash browns, two approaches to hash browns.
Mhm.
There's shredded, and then there's
Sure.
diced or cubed. Right. The diced and cubed style, also called home fries sometimes,
Mhm.
Southern style potatoes.
right.
You could go so far as to say that German potato salad is hash browns.
Really?
It's cubed potatoes cooked with onions and bacon.
Yeah.
Serve 'em warm.
But I mean, I thought you had to fry the potatoes.
Not necessarily. But I was thinking about this because I started thinking about the best hash browns I've ever had in my life. And for me, it's at a world famous breakfast place. Started in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and now there are two locations in Nashville that are also famous, one on Music Row. That's the Pancake Pantry. Which, if you're a pancake enthusiast, Steve, phenomenal place. I've never been to Pancake Pantry where I didn't have to wait pancakes when I went there.
Mhm.
I got their steak and eggs.
That's what I had this morning.
9-ounce ribeye, 2 eggs cooked how you like them, biscuits, and the Pancake Pantry's hash browns, which were boiled potatoes that they chilled them down. They were big cubes. And when it came time to cook your dinner, they put a chop ring on the flat grill like you cook a hamburger to shape it with, put in a ladle of bacon grease, mashed the potatoes down in it, and just left those suckers there till they were dark, dark brown and crusty. And then they'd flip them over and do it to the other side. And they
Ooh.
are the best hash browns you have ever
I don't
eaten.
remember eating
No,
those
those are
there.
chunked or shredded.
They're big chunks.
Oh,
Big chunks.
the cubing.
Yeah. And I just remember you probably got pancakes while you were there.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't blame you. It's a
Mhm.
fantastic place for pancakes, but best steak and eggs in
When in
America.
Rome, you do as Rome.
Yeah.
So now I got a question for you. The way I grew up, do you put syrup or powdered sugar
What?
on yours?
What? Hello, hello.
No, neither one.
Yankees.
Okay. Hey, no, I mean, I'm just, you can blame my parents. I'm just following what they did. It's the same thing with when we had pancakes or waffles. I put peanut butter on it, buddy. You
Yeah,
better
that's
believe it.
good.
Most people down here
Yeah.
go, what?
Yeah, but that's really good. And
Oh,
it's
man.
a good pack of protein as well.
Now your hash browns, now the syrup or peanut butter that might touch the hash browns and the powdered sugar.
Or
It might
swirl-
touch it
or
on the
swirl
edges.
it.
On the end.
And we can tolerate that nonsense.
No, we put it on syrup slathers, buddy. Just get it on it. Some of it's not all.
That's smeared on there.
Now, the most famous hash browns
Mhm.
are shredded.
Mhm.
That's what most people think of. And of course, Waffle House is,
IHOP
Yeah.
also.
yeah, using the exact same dehydrated hash browns. You can
And-
now get those at the grocery store. You can make a Waffle House hash browns at home.
You add water to them.
Yeah, add hot water, it rehydrates them, let it soak it in, and then you throw them on the grill.
And I worked at both. I didn't work at Waffle House, but I've have frequented Waffle House enough to know
Yeah.
how hash browns are supposed to be done. I did work at IHOP in high school,
Right.
and even today at home, I still can't duplicate it.
Mhm.
Cannot duplicate it. So I started doing a long time ago. I started going to the grocery store, get my potatoes, and I'd come home, chop them up, soak them in water, take them out, let them drain real well, lay them out on a paper towels, dab them off some, and then get my butter hot and roll them with some bacon grease in there,
Mhm.
and then throw them in there with some diced onions and diced bell peppers.
Now that's potatoes O'Brien,
Yeah.
a type of hash
Right.
brown. Yeah.
Right. But that's what I did every morning. And ketchup on the side.
Yeah.
Ketchup on the side over here.
Now this is where I turn my nose up, like you do on syrup.
But
I don't get
Only a little bit. I don't
Just
cover
like
it.
with a French fry or with tater tots.
I don't even.
And I don't eat ketchup with French fries,
I don't
but I don't want tater tots
I don't-
without ketchup.
I don't
love
put ketchup. I don't put ketchup on hot dogs. I just do mustard.
I-
because it's phenomenal.
I have a
Easy
question when it comes to hash browns crispiness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way you do that, I heard the bacon grease in there. Is that the magic ingredient, if you will, to get that nice crispiness? Because I can't ever see. Well,
And heat.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
And time.
Yeah.
But the pan,
Right.
the pan that I use, I got an emerald set, and it's stainless steel, and it
Cast iron would be better.
okay. That's what I was going.
Yeah.
for.
But see, you can't. It's hard to flip cast iron because I had
Maybe
a Michael
for you,
Chiarello.
sir. Maybe for you.
I had a Michael Chiarello frying pan. I think it was this big, Michael Chiarello, and I'd get it all brown. I lift up and look at it, see how brown and crispy it looked. Then I could take both hands and I'd just start it, and then
So a griddle,
And that whole-
or a grill, you know,
Yeah.
what they call
Yeah, we
griddle
can
would be
flip.
better, a flat griddle.
maybe if you got that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd sit there and flip that big old frying pan that big with those hash browns in it. And they
That big there. Steve
They
talks
just
about at least a
beautifully-
12 to 20 inch here. I don't know.
Now,
That's
under
what
the
16
under the
is.
diced hash browns, New Orleans has their own variant
yeah.
called a Brabant potato.
What?
Brabant.
Okay.
Brabant.
Okay.
But they don't pronounce the NT. Like, they halfway pronounce it, but
About.
it is done in a French fry method. They're diced up, but you par cook them in like 325-degree oil for
Mhm.
2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
Take them out. They're not cooked. They're just partially cooked. That's par cooked. You drain them, let them cool off. Then you fry them a second time at 360, 365. And then you get that pillowy white interior with that golden exterior. And then John Gibson was the one that taught me Brabant potatoes. And he generally, as soon as they were done, he would toss them with a little white truffle oil and a little Parmesan cheese. Those were phenomenal. And that's the traditional hash, so to speak, that you would find at a New Orleans brunch.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
they,
they're like half an inch, little bitty.
yeah,
Yeah.
half-inch cubes.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
not just the cube potatoes, it's the preparation. Either boil them or cook them in oil partially for a few minutes, dry them and let them sit for a while and cool back down before you cook them in high temperature oil.
That gives that outside crispiness to it.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
yeah.
And it'll finish cooking the inside.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
kind of, but
That's
that's,
the problem I have with the hash browns, or have had, is I've tried to cook them and they don't crisp out. They just stay kind of mushy. I don't like that. Yeah.
so you're doing you shred them and then you,
I chop
Soak
them cube.
okay, so you're doing the cube.
I do about a 1/4-inch cube.
Okay.
And
And
then
then you
I
rinse them.
chop up everything else. And
Because I will use leftover potatoes for hash browns all the time.
Mhm.
Leftover baked potato, dice it up, toss it with a little oil. You can do it in your air fryer. You can do it in a skillet.
hey, I've taken restaurants mashed potatoes.
Hmm.
If I'm late, they're eating in a restaurant late at night and they got,
Mhm.
and I say, hey, you got any mashed potatoes you're gonna be throwing away? And they bring me out a container of it and I take it home and make like a potato pancake the next day out of it.
A latke
No.
or a boxty. That's what it's called in Ireland, a potato pancake. And there's a thing that goes with it, a jingle, because the Irish are lyrical people. Boxty in the oven, boxty in the pan. If you can't make boxty, then you'll never find a man.
Wow. I'm glad he didn't sing that like they do.
No, that's how they say it.
No, it's a nice way. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the
well,
women are singing that, right?
right. That
Okay,
was
yeah.
that was what the mothers would teach to their daughters.
I got a question after the break
All righty.
about casseroles. That fits it.
Yeah, sweet potato or potato casserole. Yeah.
251-343-0106 if you want to tell us how you order hash browns at the Waffle House.
Yes.
Mobile, Alabama, please forgive me. I've been wrong.
That cookie on the line with the phone. That cookie.
This information update brought to you by Roy Lewis Construction, delivering unparalleled value and quality on new construction in commercial and industrial applications. Roy Lewis Construction, building legacies one relationship at a time. Licensed in Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi.
It takes 2 minutes.
FM Talk 105, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority. and Dr. Bill Williams.
The Gulf Coast can expect mostly sunny skies today with temperatures in the upper 80s this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows in the upper 60s. And from Monday, sunny with highs in the upper 80s. This is meteorologist Dr. Bill Williams for FM Talk 106.5.
FM Talk
I
106.5.
can handle summer.
Coast Weather Authority.
LCM offers financing for everyone with buy here, pay here, traditional bank and credit union financing. Even if you're currently in bankruptcy, you can find the car or truck you're looking for at LCM Motor Cars and finance it right there. LCM in Theodore on Highway 90 at Plantation Road.
Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you still might owe taxes on that money. The question is, do you have a plan to help make sure you don't pay more than you should? At Swan Capital, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you've earned, which is why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. It's your money. You deserve to know what's at stake. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So call the Swan Capital team today so you don't miss out on this opportunity. 800-848-8768. You work hard for your money, and we'll work just as hard to help you keep it. Swan Capital, 800-848-8768. Again, that's 800-848-8768. Swan Capital, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. All investments carry risk, and no investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect from loss of capital. The firm may not give tax advice.
Every Monday at 7, Jennifer Boozer presents Sweet Home Canabama. Brought to you by Canabama in downtown Mobile and sponsored by Dopey Distribution. Answering your questions with accurate information and dispelling the myths of cannabis. Featuring guests from every corner of the cannabis industry. Check Canabama.com and email comments to info@Canabama.com. And join Jennifer Boozer Monday at 7 for Sweet Home Canabama on FM Talk 106.5.
Advertising. It's how you encourage people to buy your products, services, or ideas. Imagine being handed a microphone to speak in front of a stadium of 30,000 people. What would you say about your business? FM Talk 106.5 can put you in front of that audience. This is Celeste Holland. Together, we can create an effective advertising campaign. Our listeners are eager for information, trust our station, and prefer to patronize local businesses like yours. Call me at 445-7249. And let's talk about how FM Talk 106.5 can help increase your business.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Alrighty, we're coming back, but Steve wanted to throw something in.
Yeah, let's put that on hold. We
got Cookie. Okay, Cookie, how are you this morning?
Well, it was okay until that came back on at full blast.
Did you have a mouthful of hash browns?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Did you have a mouthful of hash browns?
No. I seldom eat hash browns because I really like them too much, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what she's saying is she used the potatoes. She's making vodka. That's what she means by hash browns.
Making what?
Vodka.
Your potatoes.
Yeah, she's drinking her hash browns.
I'm gonna go with her.
We know you're better than that, Cookie.
Well, I hope so, because I have questions about fruit, actually. And I hope you'll say, give me a 60-second time for comment, because I'd like to finish after that, if you don't mind.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, because, as I always try to encourage you guys, as much trouble as it is to, look towards the healthier, I've got to say you've been doing it. So much healthier, and I'm very proud of you, even though, I am not in control of you any more than I'm in control of my brothers. As I said, y'all remind me of them, unfortunately, too much sometimes. Okay, resveratrol helps with cancers and antioxidants, and we don't all know, but we're all learning as much as we can about how fruits and vegetables are really a little source. I mean, a mineral source. Now, protein is great, but in whatever kind you choose. But fruits and vegetables are different, and water is great. Okay, so if water equals temperature, if water is a temperature and not a taste, then I think that's got something to do with it, right? With whether it's either fruits or vegetables. And so now when the summer is on us and it's humidity, I'm wondering if we try to balance our inside humidity with the outside stuff, which is probably impossible, but can work. Much healthier now when things are in the folk scientist sort of world, which would be the homemaker, right? And others, the teachers, all of us. Much healthier nowadays. Frozen fruits are better in summer than any other time of the year, and they're more available right now. So if you have freezer space, which I don't, but it's like I'm trying to make it freezer space. Okay, I'm working on it. But then go ahead and take advantage of the things that you can get that are healthier for you. Okay, now on the opposite side, the opposite pole, when vinegar and those sorts of things, vinegar is, which wine is just what it is before it becomes vinegar, right?
Right.
Is heated, it turns sweet when it's cooked. And things like cooked for things like gravy, sauces, extracts. Well, you don't want to cook it for extracts. You want to just go ahead. And that's where the vodka comes in. You can make extracts with vodka, but it needs to be the right kind of vodka. So look into that if you're planning on doing something like that. Okay. And
Mike's certainly looking into vodka, I can tell you that.
Oh, Mike. I just love Mike. He's just wonderful. But I have to say that before I'm making this next comment.
Oh.
I am voting for both of you for that. What do y'all call it again? What's the award things that y'all are
The
running?
Nappy Awards, the Nappy Awards.
Yeah, the Nappy Awards. I don't know whether is that the head or the diapers. But
Because it's the Lanyap magazine that gives it out.
Oh, really? Well, I have a youngest sister, and we call her Nappy because of her hair. Anyway, but I'm voting for you, not voting for the two of you.
I don't blame you.
Because, and here's why. Here's why. Why is always important. Because you should definitely win. If you don't win for 14 times in a row, who's going to beat you in that category?
Bill. We're up against Bill Finch and Danny Lipford.
And Danny retired, so we got a better.
Oh,
now we got a chance.
Okay, so now we could come in second instead of third.
No, there'll be some.
Okay, well, I guess I'll have to hold off then again until next year.
Hey, you can vote for us as many times you want. Just pretend you're in Chicago voting for mayor.
Vote every day, vote often.
Alabama voting for mayor.
Vote early. Vote early. Well, this one you actually can vote early and vote often.
But not after today.
Not after today, though. That's true.
All right, love y'all.
All right, thanks, Tootie.
Take care.
All right. So as far as casseroles, where we were going earlier.
Yeah, hash brown casserole.
Hash brown casserole. Never thought I was going to be able to say. I'd talk for a wee bit. The cheese is involved.
Cheddar would be my go-to.
Now I'm totally slacking. I've heard of cornflakes being put in there. I've heard of cream cheese. So what's the recipe that's official that
I've never made corn?
Well, it depends on if you make a
really
what style of hash brown casserole you make.
Hash browns.
That or a Southern Baptist casserole.
Now you got me intrigued. What's the difference?
It's in an 8.
Oh man, if you hadn't been to a
8x12 pan.
You hadn't been to a Southern Baptist potluck, son. You have not.
It's in a 9x12 Pyrex dish.
I got you. Well, I thought that was the same for where we grew up, and that was Catholic. So I don't know. My mom always made it in a a good 12 by 8 by 12.
I'll tell you this: the best sweet tea you'll ever drink will be at a Baptist potluck supper. And I don't know what the deal is, because you go to those ladies' house at their house, their tea is not as good as when they make it for the Lord.
They make it
It is so good. I don't know.
You got a sugar high when you leave.
I think it's because most people make bad tea at home because I want it nice and strong. Tea's not supposed to be strong.
No.
It is, if you can't see through it, it's bad tea.
Right.
It should be a light caramel color. It shouldn't be dark.
Right.
And when you make it strong, then you've got to add extra sugar to it, because
That's
all
why
you've
they like
done
it
is make
strong.
it more bitter.
It has nothing to do with
If
the
you make
caffeine.
it right, you don't need as much sugar. And what you get is a wonderfully sweet tea where you can taste the floral notes of tea instead of it just tasting like a glass full of syrup.
Right.
And it's the house wine in the South.
Yeah. So I think because they have to stretch it out to feed the whole congregation, the tea is why they don't make it too strong. Most people make terrible tea at home. Terrible.
Bitter.
Because they think it's coffee. It's not coffee. It shouldn't be strong. It should be light. It should be a light caramel color, clear,
airy.
Yeah. And delicious. And because you want the floral notes.
Here's that word again.
If you ever play around with loose leaf tea to make your iced tea, you will find out how different the notes are, just like we talk about with wine or with beer or anything else. Tea, to me, is one of the most fascinating drinks in the world.
Well, you know, there is a tea farm over in Fairhope.
Really?
You didn't know that?
Did not know that.
Maybe we need to get him on here one day.
Yeah, maybe I need to get some tea.
So here's the ranch hash brown recipe that I found for the casserole. Frozen hash browns.
Yeah.
Canned soup, maybe condensed cream of chicken soup.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Cheddar.
Yeah.
Sour cream, add 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Mix a stick of melted butter into the casserole. Drizzle the casserole with another stick of melted butter. So gotta have butter.
Yeah.
Onion.
That used to be the only thing really that Cracker Barrel had that was good.
Was their casserole?
Was their hash brown casserole. And the last time we went, it
Yeah.
was just
Dry, nasty. Yeah.
yeah.
You'll need a half cup of chopped onion.
Does it say green onion?
No.
Because I would do green onion
You do.
at the end.
I want a yellow onion.
Yeah. If
See,
I'm cooking it,
maybe that's
yellow.
the preference of difference.
Green on top as a garnish.
Yeah.
Because green onion raw is just fantastic.
Yeah. The small, I like the,
Yeah.
ones come out of the,
Oh,
I don't even know
spring
what you
onions.
call those.
Yeah, the spring
When you
onions for the
chop
first.
you get the little bulb on the end and then you get the
Yeah,
green
it's a spring
sedge.
onion.
Okay.
That is a regular onion when it first comes out.
Okay.
And so the onion is still very tender.
Mm-hmm.
Get those. They're called spring onions because they come in the spring.
Spring.
If you find them at the store, buy a bunch, cut them in half, put a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper on them,
Mm-hmm.
and put them on the grill until they're black and they start to wilt.
That's the best ones.
Oh, and then dress it with just a little bit of vinaigrette. That is, God,
So I like doing that with the little young carrots.
Oh yeah, that sounds delicious too.
Young, skinny little carrots.
Cornflakes or the crushed cornflakes. That's what makes the crunchy topping. So, okay. That's what that makes. Okay.
I'll throw this out at you since you're talking about casseroles, because I was thinking about putting a poll on our Facebook page. Lasagna, is it a casserole or not?
I would think it would be.
I think it meets the definition of a casserole.
It's
I
made in a
think it's
pan,
basically it's a meat
noodles.
pizza in casserole.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I think we ought to put up above with everybody, our listening audience.
Yeah, I'll put up a
That'd
poll
be a
on
good
the Facebook page.
foodie page topic too on the foodie page.
Did you actually bring some vodka this morning?
No. I did combine two bottles of tequila. We lost one. We couldn't find one, but when we were looking for the hash browns this morning, we found another bottle of tequila.
So now you got a cuvee. You got tequila.
Now
cuvee.
you know.
They're both the same thing. Just combine them. Make
And
more
I'll
space.
throw this at you, Steve, on the hash brown thing.
Mhm.
I was known for the sweet potato hash browns that we served at Mars Hill Cafe.
Okay.
I came in, they were doing the diced. I did not like them. And I messed around with it and messed around with that recipe till what I came out with was I shred fresh sweet potatoes and immediately toss them in cornstarch. That will make them stick together when you put them on the grill. We put a little oil on the grill, drop the hash browns down, chop them down with the side of the spatula to get it nice and flat and even across. And when they were golden brown, flip them over, and we season them with cinnamon and a little bit of chipotle chili powder, no salt.
251-343-0106 is the call or text in line. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us your idea of what, on either one, of what is your favorite style of hash, even at Waffle House. What is your favorite style?
How do you get them? Good scrambled on the scattered top kicked around it generally.
At Gulf Coast Auto Tech, our master certified technicians understand the
I
importance
have
of
never
excellent
been able
customer
to
service. So we take the time
memorize
to explain your car's
that
needed
app.
repairs.
Well,
and
they
give
can't
service
do it.
advice. Call
Flapjack,
Gulf Coast Auto
blackjack,
Tech for dealer quality
chunk,
repairs
dice,
without
whatever.
the dealer
All the
prices
way.
on Hallsman.
All the way.
It can be hard.
I want chili on one half, I want gravy on the other.
Elder abuse and neglect can take many forms, including super neglect. Dad, why didn't you tell me you needed help? Report suspected abuse or neglect to the Alabama Department of Human Resources at 1-800-458-7214 or look for Adult Protective Services on the DHR website at dhr.alabama.gov. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the ABA, and the station.
It parks there at the Dollar General.
I'm Kim Hurston, host of What's Working and
Yeah, I like
author
that.
of What Works. A
Waffle House, I
healthcare
like
expert
it.
recently told me that medical schools are a generation behind. Find out what that means right after this. This is Kim Hurston. Poor communication is costing your business, and it's because many leaders don't have the skills to communicate well. Productivity's sinking, and you're losing sales. Teams are frustrated. So I created the Generational Insights Communications Academy to train leaders to communicate effectively with anyone in any situation. Fix communication breakdowns, build the company you deserve. Enroll your leaders today at cammarston.com/GICA.
Oh, I like mine really. I almost want mine. You know, one of the
Medical schools are places of great rigor, and they should be. We want our doctors to know
That's
the
why
body
after
and its many potential maladies inside and out. Up to now, along with hands-on training and residencies, that's meant a lot of memorization. But medical students, like the rest of us, carry more information than they may ever need in their pockets, their cell phones. And with AI expected to ultimately transform the healthcare industry, the amount of data they'll be able to access through technology will grow exponentially. How could that vast encyclopedia in your pocket, your cell phone, change the way you train for your work? Find What's Working on your favorite podcast app.
What I want to do is get rid of terminal.
That's right. You voted for all of your
When I
favorite
was
bars,
recovering and I
restaurants,
lost so
bands,
much
media
weight, the
folks,
doctor told
politicos,
me,
and just
want you
about
to eat
everything
much
else under the
fast
sun
food
during the
stuff.
nomination period
Wait.
of Lanyap's 23rd Annual
Well, I
Reader's
had
Choice
two fast
Awards.
food places
We've been counting and counting, and now
McDonald's,
the
which I've
counting
never
is
been
done. And now
to.
that
That
June
left
1st,
me with a
we
whole lot
need
of
you to head on
Yeah.
over to
And I finally got to
votenappies.com
the
and
point
start
where
voting
I
again
would
to
eat so
help
much
us
fried
determine the
potato
best of the
that I
best in
didn't
such exciting
curry
categories as
fries,
quintessential
regular fries,
mammalian and
tater
Baldwinian
tots,
Judas
tater
cat,
chips,
and most
even my
important
little
of all,
Yorkie
and
got
the
tired of
highly
fried
coveted
potatoes.
Suha Waxer. Voting is
And
online
then
only,
you
so
just
head
look
on
at it
over to
like,
votenappies.com
and I
and
was
get
wondering,
through it.
like,
And of course, you'll find all of the
something
usual,
more
unusual news,
I was
investigative
killed for
reporting,
eating stuff.
commentary,
That's
cuisine,
not hard
sports,
to do.
and arts and
Chop up
entertainment
the lettuce,
coverage
put
you've
packaged
come to
food
expect from your
That's all
local
it is.
newspaper. So pick up a Lanyap from one of our Regal purple boxes or head to lanyapmobile.com today and help keep mobile on.
That's right, Michael Berry. Weeknights at 6.
I like comedy, Michael. That's not funny.
No, you're right.
Anybody who believes that they have some sort of right to not be offended
Michael Berry
is stupid.
on FM Talk 106.5. To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
So how do you order your hash browns at the Waffle House?
Onions only. Onions only, and I order them crispy. Yeah. The hash brown and onions.
Everything crispy.
Yeah, and like I said, I like my hash browns there, and I like my eggs over easy right here. And when I cut open my eggs, I want that yeller to
Yeah, absolutely.
run over into it a little bit.
Whether it's hash browns or grits, the whole point is to combine them with the egg.
So that's why they make the bowls. You know, you can put
Oh,
anything
yeah.
in there. Man,
Yeah.
I love the bowls.
And you know, even Waffle House, they went to the bowls a
And I
couple
love
years
the
ago.
bowls.
That's
Yeah.
great. I like the idea. I love the bowls,
Sausage.
everything.
I like sausage in there. I want some onions. I don't
You know
want
what he
tomatoes.
needs?
I can never
He
do
needs a trip to Satsuma, to the Satsuma Chevron for some
Mhm.
breakfast gumbo.
Cajun.
Cajun gumbo?
Is it a Cajun breakfast gumbo?
No, it's just breakfast
Okay.
gumbo. It's grits.
Nope. I'm out. I'm out. I'm too northern for you, Don. I just
You
don't do
grew
grits.
it.
That's fine. Hominy I can do. I can't do grits. I don't know what
Have
the
you tried
difference
corn
is.
grits,
Texture.
which are yellow?
The texture. I just
Yeah.
can't. It's like
Call
you
it
was talking
polenta,
about
big
eggs,
fancy,
runny.
Mr.
I
Yankee
can't
boy.
do runny eggs, dude. I just can't do it. I got to have them crimped.
See, you're weird.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, who's the one who eats the hot dogs out of them? What's the deal with that?
Well, yeah, Mike.
Fork knife.
Calling me weird.
Usually I have a white shirt on and I can't. I don't want to. I got a meeting to go to. And I don't want to be wearing it when I go to the meeting.
Yeah. Well, I told the fellas during the break that I had a buddy. He was a Chickasaw police officer, so he ate a lot of Waffle House
Mhm.
or the Freeman House. There was a Freeman in Chickasaw.
Yeah.
And
well,
yeah.
I can't get the language down, man. Chop,
Yeah.
flop, snap.
Well, he would always say that
Yada, yada.
he always said he wanted his hash browns scattered, smothered, chunked, top, kicked around, and generally abused. And
Nice.
the easy way to do it is the works. Now you don't have to remember all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I want chili on one half and gravy on the
Hmm.
other half.
See, I like it.
That
with
way
you.
I get,
like the onions, no cheese, no tomatoes.
Jalapenos, gotta have the jalapenos,
Every
and
now and then.
on top of all of it, Tabasco.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go with the
My age,
Tabasco.
I just can't do it. I
I'm
can't
not
do
doing
Tabasco
jalapenos
anymore.
and Tabasco. No.
There is a, I think it's called Tabanero. It is a hot sauce from Florida that instead of using vinegar, they use lime juice.
Ooh.
And I'm wondering is it the heat that gives you trouble or is it the vinegar?
I don't know. It's just, it sits
You
right
get
here.
heartburn?
Heartburn, indigestion, yeah, all that stuff.
Chums.
And Rolaids and everything.
You can
Pepto
use papaya extract. I think it's papaya extract. You can get in the capsule form.
Yeah.
Take that before you go to eat any kind of rich or spicy meal, and it will help control that.
See, that's
My
why
brother used it for
I
years.
have acid reflux, and I have pantoprazole, and that helps with that, but it doesn't cure it. I promise you.
That
It's
sounds
something-
like government drugs to me.
Pantoprazole. Well, it helps. That's all I know. Once a day.
I used to have to take a pill every morning about 30 minutes before I could have anything to drink or, like
Mhm.
coffee or tea or
Anything acidic.
and or food. So I had to control that. But I'm finding a lot of things that I eat nowadays just give me heartburn, indigestion, this and that. But I season everything.
Maybe Kennedy will kill all that, and we won't have
Yeah.
that problem.
Well, you also, top everything with crunchy peanut butter, a fried egg, and grilled pineapple.
Not everything. Not my hash browns. Maybe the egg.
That's it. What about the sweet potato hash brown?
I've never had sweet potato hash brown, and I saw that this morning. I was going through Google looking at recipes, and I saw sweet potato casserole or sweet potato hash brown. I go, that'd be good with some vinegar, malt vinegar.
I don't know. Maybe. I know it's a really good pairing with like pulled pork.
Mm-hmm.
So like that. I love putting. In fact, last week I smoked my duck, and 5.5 hours it was on the smoker, Mike.
Oh.
With
I was going to say, how do you roll that duck?
What end do you like?
It's a huge piece of paper, huge wrapping paper. But anyway, I smoked for 5.5 hours, mostly oak and pecan, a little apple, a little cherry mixed in, and I still had charcoal for about another hour and a half. So I wrapped 4 potatoes and just threw them on the smoker and left them till it went completely out. Then I had 4 smoked potatoes later.
Nice.
Staggering how little smoke flavor they picked up. Shocked. I may try it again peeling them. I'm wondering if the peel captured it all or filtered it and kept it from getting.
You said you wrapped them in paper.
No, foil.
Foil. Okay, I thought you said.
I was going to say that.
No. Y'all were talking about rolling a doobie or a ducky with paper. That's where the paper came in. Thanks for paying attention to your own
Next
conversation.
time I have vodka, I'm gonna make sure there's tomato juice in it.
So I have a question on the casseroles and the hash browns. The traditional is fried or scrambled eggs, bacon. Are there other better options?
You mean for like hash?
Yeah, the hash brown.
Corned beef,
Okay.
andouille sausage, Hall's Cajun sausage is great. John Gibson used to do what he called the loop hash when he was at a restaurant that was in the loop.
In the loop, yeah.
Yeah, and it was, I believe it was Conecuh with onions and peppers mixed into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really. And then topped with cheese. And it was a bowl, basically.
Yeah.
It was the meal. You got the loop hash.
Everything in it.
It wasn't a side of hash browns. It was, that's what you're eating.
See, yeah, that was one of the things we grew up with, corned beef hash.
Yeah.
And you did that with your hash browns.
I'll go get the Armor at the store.
Yeah, the canned makes really good corned beef
And
hash.
then I'll get
It's
the-
not a good sandwich,
No.
but it's really
Yeah.
good corned beef hash.
But I'll add more potato to it
Yeah.
and then top it with an egg.
See, that's what I'll do is take the corned beef hash, scramble the eggs, put that together, do a waffle, do, what, oh, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you a pioneer in this whole bowl thing that I know you've been to.
Okay.
You've been to a Bob Evans, haven't you?
I have.
They
I've
were
been to
doing
that.
breakfast bowls in the early 90s. We had one Bob Evans in Nashville near Opryland.
Yeah.
I went to one up in Cleveland, outside of Cleveland.
Yeah. Just a Midwestern version of a Waffle House. Probably a little cleaner, not 24/7. But good. I enjoyed their hash brown bowls they were slinging in 1992. So they were doing this way before any.
I will tell you, we buy Bob Evans mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And we keep them refrigerated and we
Yeah.
just pop them in the microwave. And they haven't been making the garlic mashed potatoes lately. I haven't found them in months. Everyone's out of them.
Rouse's.
I think it's a CON conspiracy.
They're not there
Even
either.
Rouse's? Really?
They're out of Rouse's, but I tell you, they do have the loaded baked potato one. That's really good. I don't need that stuff.
See, I wait to do all my shopping till after the show. Now y'all are killing me.
Well, Mike, boil your
Sunday.
potatoes.
Yeah.
That is the healthiest way to prepare them. Potatoes aren't particularly healthy because they don't contain much in the way of vitamins and nutrients.
Carbohydrates.
Right. They're carbohydrates, a little bit of fiber.
Mhm.
Any nutrients are in the peel. But boil them, coat them with a little bit of oil, do them in your air fryer. It's going to get them nice and crispy like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, now I'll do avocado toast.
Yeah.
Not toast now. I'll do cheese, egg, and avocado, mix it together, make a toast out of it in there for
Faux toast or toast.
folks. Get out there and support local, be local, buy local. Take it easy out there in this heat as we get into summer.
Yeah,
Listen
and
to the
because you know
weather.
what'll melt out in this heat?
What will?
Provolone.
And
It certainly will. Vote Nabby, yes.
Ice cream fish. I like ice cream.
Pretty Texas.
What's this? This is juice. This is
Do you get any
juice.
text messages?
Uh-oh.
Reader's Choice